Hello and welcome to another Radical Red challenge run. This is a mono poison run on minimal grinding on normal mode, which means perfect IVs for all the Pokemon and 0 EVs. We start off by picking up a Bulbasaur in Professor Oak's lab, beat the rival, and then head straight to Faulkner. Against Faulkner we lead with Tentacool, do big damage to the Rufflet, unfortunately go down, send out the Wooper, who's able to click Poison Tail and land a poison on the Rufflet, which will allow us to outpace the Roosts. Flittle then switches in and takes us out, but we're able to switch in Alolan Grimer, take out the Flittle, take out the incoming Wattrel, and finish off the remaining Rufflet. We then go to get our first Gym Badge against Brock. Wooper survives the self-destruct from Geodude, unfortunately goes down to the Archon. We switch in Ghastly, who does big damage to the incoming Varoom, and is able to finish off the remaining Onix due to its incredibly low special defense. We then make our way over to Cerulean City and face off against our rival. We take out the lead Curlier with Beedrill, and then do a bit of switching around to get Ivysaur in on Pawniard and put the Pawniard to sleep. We're then able to get a Leech Seed off to do some residual damage. Unfortunately take a lot of damage from Pawniard, but we get it down low enough so that it's no longer a problem. Charmeleon then comes in, takes out our Ivysaur, but Crobat can come in and do big damage to both the Charmeleon and big damage to the Staravia. We then head to the top of Nugget Bridge and face off against the Rocket Grunt. Clodsire is able to do good damage against the Growlithe and force the Kamala to come in which case we switch to Haunter as the Kamala is unable to hit us. We then start hitting Confuse Rays and Sucker Punches, because that's the only way we can do damage to it, and that's the safest way to take out the Koala Bear. It's a bit of a stall fest because I can't hit it with Ghost moves, but this forces the Gabite to come in. We switch into Arbok, do big damage, and take it out. Arbok also does good damage to the Togedemaru, in which case we switch into Clodsire, finish off the Togedemaru, and once again switch into Haunter against the Kamala. We're able to finish off the Togedemaru with Clodsire and end the fight. Up next we have the match against Bugsy. Our lead Beedrill is able to take out his lead Lokix thanks to a poison. Then Arbok comes in, is able to fire off a super effective Thunderfang on the incoming Scyther and take it out. We switch in Clodsire on the Ledian and tank a super effective Ice Punch, but thanks to Yawn, we're able to force the Ledian to switch out. On the switch, we switch into Haunter, land a Will-O-Wisp on Scizor, and get some chip damage with Ominous Wind. Unfortunately, Haunter goes down to Scizor. We send Arbok back out to lower its attack further and finish off the Scizor with the Arbok. The Ledian unfortunately takes us out, but we're able to switch in Crobat and finish off the Ladybug. Up next is our second gym battle, this time against Misty. We're able to switch in Arbok on Frogadian's Ice Punch, then Thunder Punch and Sucker Punch in return to take it out. We switch in Clodsire on the incoming Water move from Floatzel to get some HP back, but then switch out because we want to keep Clodsire healthy, so we can switch in on any incoming Water move and gain some health back. Arbok does a lot of damage to Starmie, but unfortunately goes down, as does Haunter. But thanks to a cross poison on the Starmie, we're able to take it out with a combination of poison damage and a U-turn crit. Ivysaur is then able to switch in on the Clodsire, and with Leech Seed, Sleep Powder, and Mega Drain, we're able to slowly chip down the Clodsire. Ivysaur is able to stay at full health through all this, thanks to the recovery, which means it's able to live a hit from Floatzel and take it out. Up next we have our early fight against Brendan, where Crobat does a lot of work, taking out the Loudred and then doing big damage to the Crawdon. Arbok then comes in to finish off the Crawdon, almost take out the Lunatone with Ice Fang and Sucker Punch, but allowing Crobat to finish off the fight against the Lunatone and the incoming Grovyle. Next we head back into Vermilion City and face our third gym leader, Surge. Roserade is able to set up the Toxic Spikes, which means we can do chip damage to all of Surge's Pokemon, apart from Vikavolt. Our answer to Vikavolt was a combination of Revavroom doing some damage, and Clodsire coming in and clicking Rock Tomb. This forces out the Vikavolt, and in comes the Bellibolt. We switch into Ivysaur and click Leech Seed in order to do even more residual damage. And then back into Clodsire on the electric move to take 0 damage ourselves. Pawmot unfortunately takes out our Roserade, but we're able to switch in Arbok and do big damage with Poison Jab and finish it off with Sucker Punch. Manectric then comes in, so we switch out predicting the electric move and take 0 damage with Clodsire. I click Rock Tomb here because I was expecting the Vikavolt to come in. Unfortunately it doesn't, so we take a bit of extra damage on Clodsire, but the Pincurchin comes in and we take not a lot of damage from it because it can't hit us with either of its stabs. Arbok finishes off the Vikavolt, the Pincurchin, and finally the Bellibolt to end the fight. Up next we have a slightly more straightforward fight, this time against Erica. We lead with Airballoon Glamora to get Stealth Rocks off on her side of the field, and also poison the incoming Rillaboom with Mortal Spin. Salazzle's able to finish off the Rillaboom. We switch into Gengar on the Earth Power from Venusaur. We're able to hit the Venusaur with 2 Psychics, unfortunately not taking it out, and forcing in the Meowscarada. We switch Salazzle in on a Flower Trick. We're able to do big damage with Flamethrower, unfortunately not taking out the Meowscarada and going down, but Crobat is able to come in, click U-turn, and force in the Electrode with Scolipede. Scolipede unfortunately goes down to an explosion, but because the Electrode's down, we can finish off the rest of the fight with Crobat against the Venusaur and the Meganium. We then head over to the game corner and fight the Rocket Gatekeeper. Unfortunately, Hypno puts our Gengar asleep, but Scolipede is able to finish it off, and we live the Aerodactyl's hits. We're able to get big damage off on the Obstagoon with Scolipede, but unfortunately, both our mons faint. Crobat's then able to come in, break the Aerodactyl's Focus Sash, allowing Sneasler to come in. Glamora takes out the Obstagoon, and then it's just a case of cleaning up the Aerodactyl and the Gramble with a combination of our remaining mons. After making our way through the Rocket Hideout, we make our way to the double battles just before Giovanni. The first match is against the Slacking and Weezing. We focus down the Weezing while also doing a bit of damage to the Slacking and get rid of Weezing's neutralizing gas. In comes the Crobat for the Fallen Weezing. We're able to do big damage with Gengar and Glamora and take it out, leaving just the Diplin. Then it's just a case of chipping down the Diplin after taking out the Slacking, and we're able to make it through this fight relatively easily. After we take out the Diplin, we move on to our second double battle. We're able to take out the Talonflame and the Shiftry relatively quickly, and leave just the remaining Toxicroak and Electros. We focus down the Electros first with Glamora and Scolipede, allowing Gengar to switch in on the Toxicroak and click Psychic and one-shot. We then make our way to Giovanni. We're able to set up Stealth Rocks on the lead Nidoking and then take it out with Gengar. We then switch in Glamora on Infernape's physical moves in order to set the toxic debris up. Unfortunately, Glamora then goes down, as does Gengar, but Crobat's able to come in and force out the Infernape. We're able to do enough damage to the Veluza so its substitute fades, allowing Scolipede to come in and finish it off. Scolipede's then able to do big damage to the Infernape, unfortunately going down, but allowing Crobat to come in and finish it off. Kangaskhan then comes in. Unfortunately, we lost our Gengar, so we are no longer immune to its normal or fighting moves. However, Crobat's able to get a lot of damage off and trade itself for the Kangaskhan. Sneasler's able to do big damage to the Honchkrow, allowing Salazzle to finish it off with Flamethrower and finish off the remaining Orthworm. Next we head to Silphco and fight our rival again. Glamora is able to set up the Stealth Rocks and then switch Arbok in on the Kingambit to outdamage it. Arbok's also able to take out the Mega Charizard thanks to Stealth Rocks and 2 Sucker Punches, but we switch out back to Glamora on the Staraptor to get another layer of Toxic Spikes up. We're then able to take out the Staraptor thanks to Spiky Shield and Power Gem, and also able to take out the Jumpluff. We then switch on Azumarill's Aqua Jet to Clodsire with Water Absorb, and then switch around in order to whittle it down with Poison. Drapions then able to come in and finish the fight. We then go and meet Brendan and face the Rocket Double Battle. We take down the lead Gothitelle with Gengar, and then do big damage to the incoming Goldengo, unfortunately going down in the process. We switch in Sneasler to finish off the Incineroar, allowing Masquerain to finish off the Goldengo. Sneasler is then able to do big damage to the Houndoom, allowing Masquerain to finish it off. Unfortunately, Mawile is able to take us out in the process of us doing big damage to it. But Drapion's able to come in, finish off the Mawile, and leave a 2v1 against the Primarina to finish the fight. We then go and face Giovanni at the top of Silphco. We're able to set up the Stealth Rocks with Glamora, then click Mortal Spin to get rid of Stealth Rocks on our side of the field, while also setting up a layer of Toxic Spikes thanks to Hippowdon hitting us. We switch in Crobat on the Earthquake, and then back into Glamora to get the second layer of Toxic Spikes up and finish off the Hippowdon. Glamora then unfortunately goes down to Garchomp's Earthquake, but this allows Gengar to switch in, do big damage to the Garchomp, and we trade the Gengar for the Garchomp, all while stalling out the Sandstorm terms, so we take no chip damage. Drapion is able to knock off Garganacl's leftovers, allowing Sneasler to come in and Drain Punch to take it out. Sneasler is then able to stay in on the incoming Kangaskhan and is able to outdamage it with Drain Punch and take it out. We'll then U-turn on the Torterra Shell Smash. Crobat is still able to outspeed and take it out. Unfortunately, Excadrill then takes us out, but Salazzle is able to come in and outspeed and finish it off with a Flamethrower. We then make our way to the Fighting Dojo and face Chuck. We're able to break the Hitmontop's Focus Sash with Spiky Shield, and also set up the Stealth Rocks and 2 layers of Toxic Spikes thanks to Hitmontop's multi-hit moves. Salazzle's able to come in on the Lucario and take it out. We switch out on the Sneasler, once again resetting up the Toxic Spikes, which have disappeared thanks to the Sneasler. We unfortunately go down, but Crobat's able to come in and finish it off. We do big damage to the Quaquaval, take out the Hitmontop, finish off the Breloom, and finish off the remaining Gallade. We then head over to Lavender Town and face Morty. Once again, we lead Glamora and set up the Stealth Rocks and a couple of layers of Toxic Spikes. We're able to trade our Glamora for the Mimikyu, and then we send out our Crobat in against the Skeledirge. We switch in Venusaur on the Will-O-Wisp, and we're able to get some chip damage off and bring Skeledirge low enough so that Gengar can finish it off with a Dark Pulse. We switch out our Gengar into Arbok. We're able to click Sucker Punch on the Ceruledge, although it's not a Ceruledge, it's a Zoroark, and take it out. Then, thanks to the poison and the big damage from Gengar, we're able to take out the Dusknoir. Unfortunately, Morty's Mega Gengar takes us out, but we're able to switch back into Arbok, finish it off with a Sucker Punch, allowing Crobat and Sneasler to finish off the remaining Ceruledge and giving us access to Mega Gengar. After obtaining the Gengarite, we then head back to Saffron City and face Sabrina. We take out the Hatterene with Reveroom's Iron Head and do big damage to the Indeedee. We once again take out the Gardevoir with Reveroom and also take out Indeedee with Muck. We focus down the Brute Bonnet as Ursaluna always clicks Protect turn 1, and then against the Porygon we leave it alone and do some damage to the Ursaluna. Unfortunately, Porygon is able to set up the Trick Room, but because of the damage we managed to get off on Ursaluna, it's not that big a deal and we're able to take out the Ursaluna relatively freely. And then it's just a case of whittling down the Porygon with a combination of Poison and some attacking moves. After beating Sabrina, we then have our gym rematches against the first 4 leaders. Up first is Brock. Once again we lead Glamora. We're able to get up the Stealth Rocks and a couple of layers of Toxic Spikes, while also removing the Stealth Rocks from our side of the field. Gengar is able to come in and force out the Great Tusk. And in comes the Tyranitar. Sneasel's able to come in and finish off the Tyranitar. This forces Aerodactyl in, who unfortunately we do not outspeed, so we switch out into Gengar. Live the hit, but go down to Sandstorm. Reveroom's able to come in, is able to do a lot of damage to the Aerodactyl and take it out. The Sneasler's able to finish off the Arcanine, is able to do big damage to the Ursaluna, unfortunately going really low, and then going down to Sandstorm. Venusaur's then able to clean up the rest of the fight by taking out the Omastar and finishing off the Great Tusk. We then return to Cerulean City to face our second rematch against Misty. Glamora is able to set up the Stealth Rocks and get a layer of Toxic Spikes thanks to Palafin hitting us with a physical move. We switch in Venusaur on the Archulodon and land a Sleep Powder, putting it to sleep. And then we switch in Revavroom in order to set up against the Sleeping Dragon. We're able to set up a few times, and thanks to the Leech Seed, we're able to stay relatively healthy and eventually take out the Archulodon while keeping most of our HP. The Ferrothorn then comes in, and thanks to 2 Iron Heads, we're able to take it out, unfortunately going down thanks to the Iron Barbs. We switch Glamora back in on the Kingdra, whittle it down thanks to Poison, and switch in the Clodsire on the Water move. Clodsire is able to take out the Kingdra thanks to Poison and Bulldoze, forcing in the Palafin. We once again switch into Glamora to get a second layer of Toxic Spikes up, and then switch back into Clodsire on the water move to waste some turns and chip the Palathin further down with the poison. Sneasler's able to come in and finish it off. Is able to do big damage once Gyarados transforms into a Dark type. Glimmora then switches in, allowing Sneasler to come back in, finish it off, and finish off the remaining Gorbis. Up next we have the rematch against Surge. Our Nidoking is able to take out the lead Iron Treads. Unfortunately, rocks have got up on our side of the field, but after Rotom takes us out, we're able to click Mortal Spin with Glimmora and get rid of them, unfortunately going down in the process. We switch in Venusaur, which forces out the Rotom into Iron Hands. We're able to get a Leech Seed off on the Iron Hands and get some chip damage off. We then switch in Clodsire to take no damage from the electric move, and into Sneasler to finish it off. Sneasler then U-turns out on the Belly Bolt. We go the poison with Poison Touch and switch into Clodsire. We are able to take out the Belly Bolt and then switch in Sneasler on a Hidden Power from the Rotom and finish it off. We switch out to Clodsire again on the Manectric, hit Bulldoze and then get a crit Bulldoze in order to take it out, leaving just the Pawmot. A combination of Sneasler and Revavroom are able to finish off the fight. After Surge, we return to Celadon and face Erica. Once again, Glimmora is able to set up the Stealth Rocks and also get a layer of Toxic Spikes on which causes the Lilligant to be poisoned, which puts it on a timer and it becomes less of an issue. Glimmora is able to take out the Lilligant and then switch out on the Venusaur. Crobat is able to click Dual Wind Beat twice and take out Erica's Mega. Then we switch back into Glimmora to reset up the Toxic Spikes, which have been absorbed by the Venusaur. Unfortunately, Ogerpon does take out our Glimmora, but we're able to switch into Sneasler and take it out with a U-turn. We then U-turn with Crobat back into Venusaur, and we click Sludge Bomb twice and take out the Sinistcha. Our Lucha then comes in, takes out our Venusaur, allowing Revavroom to come in. We get a lucky Poison with Poison Jab, which puts the Holucha on a timer, and we both go down on the same turn. Crobat then comes in and finishes the fight. We then have our 6th gym fight, this time against Koga. We're able to poison the Iron Valiant and set up the Stealth Rocks with Glimmora, and thanks to Spiky Shield, we're able to take it out, while keeping a bit of our health. Unfortunately, Drapion takes us out, but we're able to switch into Muck, get a parting shot off to lower its attack, and get into Sneasler. Sneasler's then able to finish off the Drapion with a couple of Drain Punches, and is able to get enough damage off on Greninja where Battle Bond is not an issue. We once again go into Muck, but switch into Clodsire on the Toxtricity, click Earthquake, and take it out in one hit. That just leaves the Aselgor and the Swellow, which Crobat can come in and click Dual Wing Beat and take out both the remaining Mons. After Koga, we're then able to rematch against Brendan. Glimmora is able to set up the Stealth Rocks and switch into Gengar on the Earthquake from the Metagross. We're able to take out the Metagross with Gengar, switch back into Glimmora on the Sceptile to get up 2 layers of Toxic Spikes. Crobat is then able to come in against the Sceptile and finish it off after living on 11 HP. Crawdon then comes in, takes us out, but Sneasler's able to come in, live an Aqua Jet and finish off the Crawdon. We're able to switch in Alolan Muck for free on Medicham and allow Alolan Muck to clean up the rest of the fight, taking out the Medicham, the Exploud, and the remaining Gardevoir. After dealing with Brendan, we head down to the Seafoam Islands and face Price. We run a Lumberry on our Reverie, so we wake up first turn against the Jinx, and we're able to take it out without falling asleep. We switch in Salazzle on Walrein, click Toxic on the incoming Octazol, and switch out to Glamora, deliver Bolt Beak, and set up one layer of Toxic Spikes. Unfortunately, Glamora goes down, but we're able to take out the Octazol in return. We U-turn against the Baxcalibur into Salazzle, get big damage with Flamethrower, unfortunately go down, and finish off the Baxcalibur with our Iron Moth. Iron Moth's then able to click a mixture of Discharge and Fiery Dance and take out the remaining Walrein, the Cloyster, and finally the Mega Glalie. After obtaining the Choice Scarf from Price, we head over and collect the Choice Band from Jasmine. We set up the Stealth Rocks and 2 layers of Toxic Spikes against Jasmine, which are useful in this fight because Salazzle has the ability Corrosion, which allows us to poison any Steel type which switches in. We're able to take out the remaining Mons with Salazzle's Flamethrower, apart from the Lucario, in which Iron Moth has to come in and finish it off. Next we head to the mansion and face May. Glimora is once again able to set up the Stealth Rocks and a layer of Toxic Spikes, and is able to get rid of the Toxic Spikes on our side of the field thanks to Mortal Spin. Dropion's able to do big damage to Relicanth thanks to Wicked Blow, and we're able to switch in Revavroom, live the Head Smash, and take it out. Revavroom then goes down to Manectric's Overheat, allowing Iron Moth to switch in for free and click Fiery Dance. Against Flygon, we switch into Crobat on the Earthquake, Dual Wing Beat twice, and take it out. Then comes the Solrock, which we take out with Wicked Blow. We're able to do big damage to the Blaziken with Drapion's Wicked Blow, and bring it down low enough where Sneasler can click Mach Punch and allow Poison to take it out. Crobat's then able to come back in against Breloom and finish the fight. We then have our 7th gym match against Blaine. We're able to get the Stealth Rocks and the Poison off on Armarouge, breaking its sash, and then able to switch into Drapion, click Wicked Blow, and take it out. We switch into Tentacruel on the Typhlosion, breaking its Blazing Soul with Acid Spray, and lowering its special defense. We almost have enough to take it out, but not quite. But thankfully Sneasler can come in and finish it off. We then switch out Sneasler to Iron Moth, unfortunately going down to 2 Ivy Cudgels, but allowing Crobat to come in for free and click Dual Wing Beat and take it out. We almost take out the Executor in 1, fortunately live on 10 and finish it off. We then do a lot of damage to Charizard, allowing Sneasler to come in and once again finish off the Charizard. We do enough damage to Slitherwing where Flurbit's recoil takes it out. We're now in Cerulean Cave and facing the back-to-back admin battle. We break Mamoscine's Sash with Sneasler's U-turn, finish it off with 2 Flamethrowers from Salazzle. We unfortunately go down to Houndoom, but we're able to switch in Sneasler and one-shot with Drain Punch. We then U-turn on the Durant into Iron Moth, take it out with 1 Fiery Dance, leaving just the Mimikyu. Drapion is able to get a lot of damage off on the Mimikyu, unfortunately not taking it down with Cross Poison, but allowing Crobat to finish it off. We then face the second match. We're able to one-shot the Hattrem with Dire Claw, switch in Crobat onto Honchkrow, and get some damage off. Iron Moth unfortunately goes down to a crit Sucker Punch, but Sneasler able to come in and finish it off. Venusaur's then able to deal with the Rhyperior thanks to Leech Seed and Giga Drain, and we're able to land a Sleep Powder the second time of asking on the Mawile, get a Leech Seed off, and start lowering its health. Unfortunately, Mawile does take out our Venusaur, but Sneasel is able to finish off the fight. We then make our way to the end of the cave and face Giovanni. We lead with Galarian Weezing to get rid of the Psychic terrain, unfortunately then going down to the Mewtwo. We switch in Drapion after Weezing goes down, and click Wicked Blow after the Dragapult forces the Mewtwo into its Mega form, taking it out. We're then able to also click Wicked Blow on the Celesteela, taking it out with Dialga's help, leaving just the Excadrill and the Tyranitar. Well, then it's then just a case of whittling down the remaining Pokemon and finishing the fight. After clearing the cave, we head back to Viridian City and claim our final gym badge. We take out the incoming Aerodactyl while also getting rid of Stealth Rocks on our side of the field, switch in Revavroom on Magearna. We're able to set up enough that we're able to two-shot the Magearna and take it out. We then break Dragonite's Multiscale, unfortunately going down in the process. Drapion's then able to come in and finish off the Dragonite with Wicked Blow, is able to get down Naganadel low enough where its Life Orb takes it out. We then switch in Glimora on Roaring Moon, poison the Roaring Moon, and whistle it down with Poison and Spiky Shield, allowing Galarian Weezing to come in, click Strange Steam and finish it off. We then go down to a Flare Blitz, but we can switch in Venusaur on Gouging Fire, take it out with an Earth Power and Flare Blitz Recoil. After obtaining our final gym badge, we face our rival again. Glimora is once again able to set up the Stealth Rocks, and is able to get a bit of chip damage on Sneasler with Spiky Shield. We switch out once the Sandy Shocks arrives into Revavroom, but just U-turn out into King Gambit, allowing Sneasler to come in for free and take it out. We then switch out once again, this time going in to Drapion and clicking Wicked Blow on the Sandy Shocks, taking it out. Once the Sneasler comes in, we once again switch into Glimora, do massive damage to the Charizard with our Stealth Rocks, and finish it off with Wicked Blow from Drapion. This time we stay in against the Sneasler, almost take it out, but forcing the Azumarill in. We switch in Venusaur on the Azumarill, take it out with a Giga Drain. Unfortunately, we can't stay in against Staraptor, so we switch in Crobat, click Dual Wing Beat, take out the incoming Sneasler, and finishing off the Staraptor. We then have another rival match, this time against Brendan. Glimora is able to poison the Deoxys and click Spiky Shield to whistle down its health, allowing Sneasler to come in and click Mach Punch to finish it off. After we've dealt with the Deoxys, we switch out on the Landorus into our Revavroom, which has an Air Balloon, which means ground moves can't hurt us. We're able to take out the Landorus with an Iron Head, and also finish off the Jirachi with some more Iron Heads. We then U-turn against the Huntail into Venusaur, finish it off with Giga Drain, leaving the Zapdos to come in. Zapdos takes us out, but Crobat is able to do a lot of damage, and it takes itself out with Recoil. Revavroom then comes in against Sceptile, unfortunately goes down, but we're able to switch in Drapion, live a hit, and finish it off. We make our way through Victory Road, and the team to face the Elite Four will be Sneasler with Poison Touch, Iron Moth with Quark Drive, Glimora with Toxic Debris, who has carried us this entire run. We've got the Drapion with Sniper, so Wicked Blow does some extra damage. Gengar with Levitate and the Gengarite, so we can Mega Evolve. And finally Clodsire. Our first match is against Lorelei's Rain team. We're able to one-shot the lead Ogerpon and switch in Clodsire for free to absorb the water move. We then switch in Glamora, who unfortunately cannot take a Scald and goes down to Politoed Scald. Drapion's then able to come in, we're able to finish off the Politoed and do big damage to the Swampert with Wicked Blow. We are able to finish off the Swampert after switching in Clodsire. Unfortunately, Drapion goes down to Iron Bundle. We're able to do big damage to the Walking Wake and get the poison off, meaning it goes down at the end of the turn. This forces in the remaining Kyogre. We're able to take out the Iron Bundle with Gengar's Thunderbolt. And then a combination of Gengar, Clodsire, and my remaining Iron Moth finish off the Kyogre. Up next is our second match, this time against Bruno. We are able to get rid of the hazards on our side of the field with Mortal Spin from Glamora, unfortunately then go down to Lucario. Iron Moth's able to come in and revenge kill the Lucario, but we have to switch out on the Komodo. Clodsire comes in, and with a combination of the Toxic and Earthquake, we're able to stall out the Komodo and take it down while staying relatively healthy. Unfortunately not healthy enough to live a Wicked Blow from Urshifu. Sneasel was then able to come in, take out the Urshifu, forcing in the Iron Valiant. Iron Valiant then takes out our Drapion, which allows Iron Moth to come in, click Sludge Bomb, and take it out. We then switch Gengar in. Unfortunately, we go down to a Wild Charge, but Iron Moth is able to get enough damage off on the Zacian, where Sneasel can come in and finish it with a Mach Punch. Our third match is against Agatha. We are able to poison the incoming Marshadow and set up Stealth Rocks, which means we're able to chip down all of Agatha's team. We set up the Toxic Debris and finish off the Marshadow with Wicked Blow. Wicked Blow is almost able to take out the incoming Zoroark, but we know we can't take out the Chien-Pao, so we switch into Sneasler. We take it out, which leads to the Fluttermane coming in. We're able to live a Moonblast just, take it out, take out the Goldengo, and take out the remaining Mega Gengar. Next we have our final Elite Four member, Lance. We're able to take out the lead Aerodactyl, while also getting rid of rocks on our side of the field. I don't know why Salamence clicks Dragon Nuts twice, so we're able to take it out for free. We then fortunately do not fall asleep to Dark Hole, and we're able to get a hit off on Iron Jugulus, allowing Gengar to come in and finish with Icy Wind. 2 Icy Winds is enough to take out the Dragonite and keep it slower than Mega Gengar, which means we're able to take that out as well. We get some damage off with Aura Sphere on Dialga, Fiery Dance from Iron Moth, and Drain Punches from Sneasler. Fortunately, we do not get hit with a Roar of Time against Sneasler, so we're able to finish it off with Drain Punch, do big damage to the Melmetal, allowing Iron Moth to come in and finish the fight. After the Elite Four, we then have the champion. We bait out Triple Axel and get some chip damage on Pheromosa with Glamora's Rocky Helmet, which then forces the Glamora to switch out against our Drapion into Eternatus, in which case we can Wicked Blow twice to take it out. In comes the opposing Ditto, which is going to click Earthquake, which means we could just freely Icy Wind with Gengar, switch into the Clodsire on the Miraidon, and click Earthquake a couple of times to take it out. Fortunately, Yveltal doesn't manage to put us to sleep with Dark Hole, which means we can land a Toxic and put it on a timer. We're able to bait out the Sucker Punch with Protect and live a bit longer, and whittle down the Yveltal even more to the point where Sneasler can click Mach Punch and take it out. In comes the Metagross. We're able to do big damage with Drapion's Wicked Blow and finish it off with once again Sneasler. The opponent's Ditto copies my Sneasler and puts us to sleep, but thanks to the damage which we have on it, Iron Moth can then come in afterwards, and as long as we avoid the sleep, can click Fiery Dance twice to finish off the fight. That was the poison run done. I hope everyone enjoyed it. And up next is water.